What if I told you picking the wrong Chihuahua gender could completely change your life with your dog? Same breed, same size, same adorable face, but totally different personalities. And most people don't realize this until it's too late.
If you're thinking about getting a Chihuahua or you already have one, understanding the differences between males and females isn't just helpful, it's essential. Because these tiny dogs, they come with big personalities. In this video, we're breaking down the real, practical differences between male and female Chihuahuas, from behavior and training to affection, stubbornness, and even loyalty. By the end, you'll know exactly which one fits your lifestyle best, and maybe even understand your current Chihuahua a whole lot better.
Personality, the clingy versus independent factor. Let's start with the biggest difference people notice right away: personality. Male Chihuahuas are often described as little shadows. They follow you everywhere. Bathroom? Yep. Kitchen? Of course. Even just shifting in your chair, they're already there. They don't just want attention, they need it. Think of them like that one friend who always wants to hang out, no matter what. Female Chihuahuas, they're a bit more selective. They love you, but on their terms. They'll cuddle next to you, but not necessarily on top of you. They'll sit nearby, observing, judging, like a tiny queen. Imagine this. You come home after a long day. A male Chihuahua explodes with excitement, like you've been gone for years. A female, she looks at you like, oh, you're back. Good. But here's where it gets interesting. This difference in personality directly affects training, and that's where things start to flip. Trainability. Who learns faster? You might assume the clingy one is easier to train. Not always. Female Chihuahuas tend to be more focused and independent thinkers. They learn commands faster because they're less distracted by, well, you. Male Chihuahuas, they can learn quickly, but their emotional attachment sometimes gets in the way. They'd rather cuddle than concentrate. Think of it like this. Females are disciplined student. Males are student who just wants to hang out with the teacher. But don't get it twisted. Females can also be more stubborn. If they don't feel like listening, good luck. And that stubborn streak leads to something a lot of owners struggle with: dominance and attitude. Who's boss? Female Chihuahuas often have stronger dominant tendencies. Yes, even at 2 kilograms. They like control, they like routine, and they definitely like being in charge. Male Chihuahuas, usually more easygoing. They're more likely to submit, especially if raised properly. But they come with their own issue: marking. Males are more likely to mark territory, especially if not neutered. Females more likely to assert authority. You might see a female Chihuahua bossing around dogs twice her size, and somehow it works. But dominance isn't the only thing that affects your daily life. Wait until we talk about affection, because this is where most people make their decision. Affection. Who loves you more? Let's be honest. Most people want a Chihuahua that's loving, cuddly, and loyal. So which one wins? Male Chihuahuas are typically more openly affectionate. They crave physical contact. They love lap time. They want to be as close to you as possible at all times. Female Chihuahuas, they love deeply, but more subtly. They're not always in your face about it. It's less, I need you right now, and more, I trust you enough to sit beside you quietly. If you want a constant companion glued to you, male. If you prefer a more balanced, less needy relationship, female. But here's the twist. Affection isn't always a good thing, especially when it turns into something called attachment and separation anxiety. Male Chihuahuas are more prone to separation anxiety. That deep bond we talked about, it can backfire. If left alone too long, they may bark excessively, become destructive, get anxious or stressed. Female Chihuahuas are generally more independent. They handle alone time better. Not perfectly, but better. Think of it like this. Male, don't leave me. Female, I'll be fine. Just bring snacks when you get back. So at this point, you might be thinking, okay, female sounds easier, but there's one factor we haven't talked about yet, and it can completely change your decision. Quick question for you. Do you have a male or female Chihuahua? Drop it in the comments and tell me one personality trait that matches what we're talking about. I read every comment, and honestly, some of the stories are wild. And if you're finding this helpful so far, hit like. It really helps more Chihuahua lovers find this video. Health, heat cycles, and long-term care. Now let's talk about something most people don't think think about enough. Long-term care differences. Female Chihuahuas go through heat cycles, unless spayed. This means bleeding, mood changes, and attracting male dogs. That alone can be a deal breaker for some owners. Male Chihuahuas, no heat cycles, but they do have a higher tendency to mark territory, especially indoors. Both of these behaviors can be reduced or eliminated through spaying or neutering. But here's a more nuanced point most people miss. Spaying and neutering don't just affect behavior. They can also influence energy levels, weight gain, and even temperament. A lot of people think just fix the dog and everything is solved. Not true. Training, environment, and consistency matter way more than gender alone. Loyalty. Who bonds stronger? Here's one of the most debated topics. Which Chihuahua is more loyal? Male Chihuahuas tend to bond intensely with one person. They pick their human, and that's it. Female Chihuahuas, they're often more balanced. They can bond with multiple people in the household. You'll often see this. A male Chihuahua ignores everyone else except you. A female Chihuahua interacts with everyone, but still has favorites. Want a one-person dog? Male. Want a family dog? Female. So, what's the real difference between male and female Chihuahuas? It comes down to this. Males are more affectionate, clingy, and emotionally attached. Females are more independent, focused, and sometimes dominant. Males may struggle more with separation anxiety. Females may be easier to train, but also more stubborn. And neither is better. They're just different. The best choice isn't about gender. It's about you, your lifestyle, your patience, your expectations. At the end of the day, whether you choose a tiny shadow that follows you everywhere or a tiny queen that runs the house, you're still getting a huge personality in a tiny body. That's why we love them. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. And if you want more simple tips about Chihuahuas, join my free newsletter. Link is in the description. See you in the next one.